What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Nikolai Espresso and welcome back to another video here today on the channel. It is a Wednesday, so we're continuing a little bit of a series that we've been doing recently on the channel, that being 5 Easter eggs that you might not know about years later. So in this one, we're taking a look back at one of my personal favorite Call of Duties, Call of Duty Black Ops, and taking a look at 5 Easter eggs that you might not know about to this day, or some you might know of, but others you may never have even considered. But with that said, we got 5 up on the table. I think you guys will enjoy it, so let's jump right into it. Let's start out with number 1, a little bit of a future proof at the time of a first DLC within Black Ops. For those of you guys that enjoy Easter eggs that point to some things that might be coming later on in the year with DLC, this is one of those ones that may have slipped completely under the radar for everybody, but when the game was first launched, you could actually take a look and see hints of the first DLC for Call of Duty Black Ops. This deals directly with the campaign of Black Ops, but if you were to go and play the mission Revelations, you can end up getting into one of the rooms in the hospital. Now, if you walk over and you find some of the magazines in that room, you'll end up seeing a magazine that is a little blurry in terms of the text and everything, but the front side of the magazine reads, "Russians launched first primate into space and it returned a ... and the main text is, "What the hell is this?" And it is a zombified monkey, more so the monkey from Ascension. And then if you were to take a look at the back, it is donned in the space race text, which is one of the achievements that you can get on the map Ascension for pack-a-punching your weapon before round 8. So that, though it does not pertain to the main Easter egg, is still one of those things that, once again, is directly correlated with DLC 2. Now, of course, you can play devil's advocate here and say that this isn't maybe direct pointing to Ascension and DLC 2, but when you take a look at the images on the magazines, they are directly pulled from Ascension. So pretty cool that we get to start this out with some future proof that was in the faces of every Call of Duty Black Ops player if they so chose to dive deep into the depths of Revelations and ending up taking a look at this Easter egg. Right there, it wasn't necessarily in plain view per se, but it was still there in plain view, I guess. But number 2, we're gonna move over into the console of Black Ops. If you guys were to end up ever going out of your chair in the main menu and walking over to the console or the computer behind your main chair in that main menu, you can end up doing a lot of cool stuff with it. And I think I might have a video coming out on some stuff that I really wanted to share with this for quite some time. But if you go in, you can end up playing a game called Zork. This is based off the game from Infocom, in which it was in the late 70s and early 80s. There's different variations of it, but it's essentially just an interactive fiction computer game where you type commands and it will give you a little bit of a scenario in which you're playing through, essentially. So imagine reading a book, but being able to directly control what your character can do. So it's laid out in that sense where it's a fictional story that you kind of have to complete yourself, but you yourself are in control of what happens. Now, while there's not too many Easter eggs within the Zork mode itself, it's very cool that we can pull up this classic game and something that is just really a mini game within inside a mini game inside of a game, I guess, because the console, I guess, could be considered something. You get what I'm saying here with this one, but it's something very cool, and if you guys have never checked it out, all you have to do is, once you initially enter into the console, whenever you get there, first sitting down, all you have to do is type Zork on your screen, and then it will enter it in for you, and you can check it out for yourself. The third thing up for discussion within this one we're gonna be taking a look at is you can actually get the Thunder Gun in a campaign mission. Now, that sounds really crazy because the Thunder Gun has only ever been known to be in zombies in Black Ops, and then, of course, in Revelations within Black Ops 3, but it's been a very finite number of places that you can find the Thunder Gun within Call of Duty. So with that said, taking it out of context and then putting it into a campaign perspective, that sounds really weird to say, right? But it is in fact in the mission numbers within the campaign. To get it, all you have to do is destroy 6 Nova 6 barrels on that mission, and then as everyone is trying to escape from the collapsing building, you end up having to go back and open up the tape deck for it. But when you interact with that, the screen will shake a little bit here more within this one. Now, it's not initially going to end up happening right in that room. You gotta continue to escape a little further, but when you reach the first armory, you can notice that behind the fridge, there's another open tape deck on the left, and once again, once you interact with it, that will then close the tape deck, and if you did it right, a few seconds later, the screen should shake once again, and a few more seconds later, you'll end up being able to obtain the Thunder Gun in campaign. You can then use it for the rest of the mission. It's not something that is super effective, once again, because the Thunder Gun is more so a wave gun where you take out waves of zombies, but it's still super fun to play around with, super weird to look at, and of course, something very cool that maybe not many people knew about. Now, the fourth one up on this list is one you might know about because it's the original of these, but if you were to end up going to Nuketown, there's a special little Easter egg within the map, whether it be multiplayer, private match, or whatever it may be. Usually it's just gonna be a private match thing because it's very hard to coordinate everybody in a public match to be able to do this, but you'll need multiple people. But if you were to end up shooting off every single mannequin's head in the first 15 seconds of the match, and yes, that's not a mispronunciation, 15 seconds, so you gotta be really quick with it, and hence you need a couple of people that are really good at spawning mannequins and have keen, good aim. If you end up shooting all the heads off within the first 15 seconds, you end up getting a song to play over the loudspeakers of the original Nuketown. Now that song is in fact Sympathy for the Devil from the Rolling Stones, which I can't necessarily put up in this video because that's mad copyright right there, and it's something that will definitely get claimed and of course then muted, so it wouldn't help anyway. But if you were to go end up trying to do this, you could definitely do it if you have a couple of people, and it's a nice little Easter egg to keep things whimsical and fun about the multiplayer aspect. Now the fifth and final Easter egg that you might not know about in Black Ops is that there is in fact a World at War arcade machine in one of the multiplayer maps. If you end up going to the map Drive-In, there is an arcade within that section of the map, and if you were to go take a look around, there's of course your standard things that you could see in an arcade, but the one that stands out in particular is called Uber Shooter, with the branding of Call of Duty World at War above the screen, and the point and shoot weapon of choice is the fan favorite MP40 from World at War as well. So paying a little homage to the initial game that was the last title that Treyarch developed at the time. Of course, that's no longer the case. There is Black Ops 3, Black Ops 2, Black Ops, and then World at War, but at the time, it was just paying a little homage to the previous title that they had released 2 years earlier. So it is something that, of course, doesn't really have any implications in how the game plays, but it's cool to look at nonetheless. But that is going to conclude the 5 Easter eggs that you might not know about to this day in Black Ops. Let me know what you guys think down there in the comment section down below. Did you guys know any of these? Did you know all of them? Did you know some of them? Whatever it may be, feel free to drop it down there. But hopefully you guys did enjoy. If you did, make sure you drop a like down below. And if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe to stay up to date with everything we have here regarding Easter eggs, Modern Warfare Mastered, Infinite Warfare, Black Ops 3, and COD 2017 content. We got you covered here up on the channel. But finally, if you guys want to follow me over on Twitter, that is the best place to get connected with me here outside of YouTube. I practically live on Twitter, so if you guys want to strike up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, link is down there in the description below. But all that said and out of the way, thank you dudes so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and hopefully you guys are having a fantastic day. I'll see you guys later. My name's been Nikolai Espresso. Take care and peace.